It's Chippy with umcportal.com, and in this video I've got a couple of 8-inch Windows 8.1 tablets to show you. The Dell Venue 8 Pro and the Asus Vivo Tab 8. Two very similar 8-inch Windows tablets, and the reason they're very similar is not just because they're both on the Bay Trail platform and have the same resolution, the same ports, and pretty much the same weight and sizing as well. It's because they both have digitizer layers on them. One is a Wacom, the other isn't, and that's important to some people. So although we're not going to get into too much detail in this video because we're unboxing, we're going to take a look and do some side-by-side comparisons, and then over the next series of videos I'll be deep diving into both the Dell Venue 8 Pro and the Vivo Tab 8. Now I also have here the Toshiba WT8. I've had this for about a month now. So I know the ins and outs of that. There's a full review of that up on umcportal.com, and we'll put that side by side with these two devices as well. So let's get into the double unboxing of the Dell Venue 8 Pro and the Asus Vivo Tab 8. Right, a little bit of background for you while I get this Amazon packaging off the Vivo Tab. The Bay Trail range of Atom processors was introduced, was it September, I think it was, last year. And the first products came through sort of November, December. 8-inch tablets, 10-inch tablets, 10-inch 2-in-1s, 11-inch. That's the sort of range of devices you're going to get for Bay Trail platform. Bay Trail T platform is the specific platform we're talking about, and these are two examples of the 8-inch Windows 8.1 small screen tablets. Small screen means they're also eligible to get the free Windows Home and Student Office package as well. You get a full license in both of these. Now this one is not a retail packaging. This is a bulk commercial packaging, I think purchased by Intel for reviewers. So this one's come from Intel. This one isn't a complete brand new retail packaging bought from Amazon just 24 hours ago. Now I have opened the Dell one. I haven't unpacked the tablet yet, and I can tell you in advance that there is no digitizer pen supplied with this, so that makes it a little bit awkward that I can't actually test the digitizer right now. I'm going to see if I can get hold of the digitizer for it for the full review and further testing. But this is the box kit as it is here. These are very low power devices that charge via micro USB, so we're down into that sort of category of charging now. You're getting a micro USB adapter with that, and actually, as this is the commercial bulk packaging, don't seem to have the Office license here as well, so I get just a very quick start guide and a warranty, and that's all I get in the Dell. Now there are unboxing videos of the Dell Venue 8 Pro online already. In fact, our man on UMC Portal, what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. In America has unboxed this and had a deep look at this as well. But let's get the Vivo Tab Note 8 out, because that's one we haven't had a look at. In fact, this is probably one of the first sort of English language unboxings that will go up on YouTube. I know it's been around in Germany, and this one was bought in Germany. So let's take a look and see what we've got inside. So let's just put the tablet to one side a second. Now this is important to note on here. They're both digitizer capable devices, but this one has a Wacom digitizer. Now compatibility with some applications, OneNote and Photoshop and things like that, is generally a bit better with Wacom digitizers than it is with the other, the N-Trig and I think there's a Synaptics one as well available. So that's the license you'd be looking for your Office, and warranty card, quick start. Not much more in this one as compared to the Dell. There's the charger and there's the micro USB cable. So pretty much, that's it really. Let's how did that go in there? Oh, it was in there. Let's get that out of the way. Right, the two devices side by side. Really, on this video you're not going to be able to see much difference, but let's get them unpacked anyway and hold them side by side, because there might be some material differences, some aesthetics that we port placings, and of course there's one special thing on the Vivo Tab 8 which I think for me really makes it a little bit more interesting than the Venue 8 Pro, even if you disregard the fact that it's got a different style of, I think it's an aptics touchscreen on this one, digitizer on this one. Now immediately we can see the black on the Dell Venue 8 Pro is very black. The Asus having a little bit of well, you can definitely see where the screen is on that one. I'm just going to hold them up in just two hands. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm just going to see if I feel which one is thinner, which one is heavier. It's almost impossible to tell, but the Dell does feel a little bit thin. I'm just going to look over to these specs. I've got the specs up on the screen, and the Dell is 9mm thick. The Asus is 11mm thick, and yes, there's definitely a millimeter or more. It doesn't feel like 2mm, but there's a millimeter or more or difference between the thicknesses on those two. The Dell has a really nice rubberized back with it's got sort of concentric circles on the back there. That's nice, that's really grippy. The Asus has hard plastic with a slight bit of a rubberized finish to it, but it's certainly not as grippy as that Dell Venue 8 Pro. And I want to bring in the Toshiba WT8 at this point, a very greasy Toshiba WT8. That's got a hard plastic back, which is has got a slight finish to it. But these two certainly feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter and a little bit smaller compared to the WT8. The WT8 is as thick as the Asus, slightly shorter, but slightly wider. And it looks a little bit thicker, but it actually isn't. When you put them on a table, there's absolutely no difference there, but it does feel a bit chubbier, the WT8, but it's certainly a bit shorter. And the Dell there being the the thinnest of the three. The Asus is actually pretty light as well, though. So let's put that over to the side. I'm going to take a look around the ports of the Vivo Tab 8 then. So we've got power and we've got volume rocker here. Now, very close, of course. If you're going to put your power next to your volume rocker, got to be careful that you don't hit power instead of volume. Nothing else on the side there. We've got micro USB on the top here and a headset port there. Hope you can see that. And then spinning it around, we have what is probably, oh, how about that? I've never seen that before. So I have bought the 32 gig version of the Vivo Tab 8, and they've given me a little micro SD card. And I know what this is. This is actually the recovery partition. So sensible move. When you get these 64 gig versions, you get a recovery partition on the built-in eMMC SSD, which takes up quite a bit of space. The 32 gig one, they've taken the recovery partition off and put it on a micro SD card. That makes a lot of sense. It's going to leave more space on the drive. However, you can take that out, drop in your 32 gig or 64 gig card there, and have as much space as you need really to really get going. So that is a great way to do the 32 gig option, and I like that. Now one of these is, I think this one is the Windows button. Either this one's the Windows button or this one is the Windows button. There's no marking on the there might be a light on that, a lamp on that one, so that might be the power and that might be the Windows button. We'll find out later. And then moving down to the bottom, that's pretty much it, apart from here. This is the bit that's actually quite exciting, because the pen is actually stowed on the device. The amount of times we've used digitizer devices that don't have pens stowed on the device is incredible, and to have it on an 8-inch device is great. Now, do you know what that's going to do? That's going to make the desktop way more usable than it would be otherwise, because desktop on 8-inch devices, Windows desktop on 8-inch devices, is not that enjoyable. But if you've got a very accurate pointer and you need to do some stuff with a desktop app, you've got that, but you've got it available as well, which I think is great. Now I'm left-handed, of course it would be better if that sided. Those of you that are right-handed won't have a problem. In fact, I might even retrain myself with this, because it might be worth 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 getting it right on the right hand. So that's really nice. Now, where are the speakers? I don't see any speakers apart from down here. There's a grill here. We've got a what I think is a 5 megapixel webcam on the back. So what's missing? Micro HDMI on this one. There's no micro HDMI, and there's a front cam there, but that's about it. If you have a look at the Toshiba, we have stereo speakers down there. We have the micro SD card slot there. We have micro HDMI, we have USB, we have headset, we have dual array mics on that one, and the power and rocking. The Windows button is on the bottom of the WT8. Now let's look at the Dell Venue 8 Pro, which I really, really like the look of. It's just got that lovely black, you can hardly see where the screen is there, but there is a very small bezel around it. The webcam's offset there to the top right. There's obviously a camera activity light and maybe an ambient light sensor I can see hidden behind the glass there. Let's have a look around the ports. We've got power, we've got headset port here, we've got micro HDMI, we've got the power button. No, there is the Windows button there. Apologies, that's the Windows button. Micro USB, power, volume up, volume down. There's a probably a lamp there for charging, and a mic there. Is it a dual array mic? And then under here we have micro SD card slot. Now you see there's a space there. That is because there are going to be 3G, 4G versions of this, and that's where the micro SIM will go on those versions. This is a speaker, single speaker on the bottom, and that's pretty much it. On the back we've got a 5 megapixel camera. I'm not sure if that's auto focus. It doesn't look like it. The Asus looks like it might have an autofocus camera. It's slightly raised, which means there's space for the sort of the mini motor to drive the lenses on that one. So really not much difference between the two. Now the thing is with the digitizer, if you're going to go for the digitizer, you do really want the stylus on the device. I think that's a real plus point for the Asus there. But we'll get deeper into that. I think it's worth the 1 or 2 millimeters difference in thickness to have the pen stowed. Remember, that's an active digitizer pen. There's no buttons on it. I'm just showing it. There's the one button on the side, but it's not. It doesn't have any batteries in it or anything. So anyway, we'll test that at a later date. So there's the 3 of them lined up, and we're going to be testing those on umpcportal.com over the next days. I already like the WT8, and although I think it's a little bit chubby, and I think that it's actually slightly better for me to have a 10-inch lightweight Windows tablet rather than an 8-inch one that I can't use the desktop on. And that would apply, I guess, for the Dell if I didn't carry the stylus with me all the time, but it's not maybe going to apply to the Asus because the stylus is there. It's going to make the desktop far more usable than on the WT8 at least. Right then, that's the 3 devices. Let's just flip them over so you can have a look at the back. There you go. So that's just a quick look at the 3 tablets there, the 2 new ones being the Dell Venue 8 Pro and the Asus Vivo Tab 8. This is the 32 gig version I've bought here. This is the 64 gig version of the Dell Venue Pro 8, and of course we've got the Toshiba WT8 that we're going to test with it. Of course there's a load more detail that I'm going to give you over the next week or so on umcportal.com. That's just a brief overview of the 3 tablets. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to, I always forget which side it is, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. I'm at Chippy, and umcportal.com is the website. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.